overcomer too.
Yeah. So how can families preserve the wisdom of their elders? Even as society becomes more fast paced. For instance, with traditions, storytelling, documentation as tools for legacy building, how can those families preserve the wisdom of their elders?
I would
Because
encourage.
sometimes they don't want to hear, and the younger people don't want to hear it because they figure, oh, that's so old fashioned. But how do you think families should be able to or could preserve the wisdom of their elders?
I really think having this experience through the Distinguished Authors Guild, I have learned that
Mm.
documenting, writing, it doesn't have to per se that the people take on where I'm going to write a book, but do write it down, put it in writing, keep the pictures. Yes, tell it. Now it may seem as though there's a generation that doesn't want to hear it. It may seem that way, but I am a witness that there's a generation right now that is hungry to know the identity of where I came from so that I can get a perspective on where I am. This
Mm.
generation, this
Yeah.
generation is facing challenges. Not all of them are new, but they are magnified. Drugs aren't new, gangs aren't new. The struggles of race, that's not new. Politics isn't new. It's magnified. So there are young people, although it seems like they don't want to hear, they do. There's a lot that's happened from generation to generation that's clouded that communication. It's kind of perverted that communication. But I can tell you as a
Yeah.
witness, we have an amazing generation of young people who are hungry for that knowledge of where did this come from? I do want to know in my family. They want to know. And it's just
Yeah.
about that faith. Hmm.
I want to go to our sidebar. Shanette Johnson is saying, "Good evening, ladies,"
Hmm.
and from the crew, she's saying, and that's the producer saying that it is powerful, very, very powerful. Founding sponsors is saying amen, and it is powerful. And also, Patrice, hey Patrice, she's saying hello, and Shanette is
Hi.
saying exactly to what you're saying about our youth. How they are thirsty for the information.
That's right.
Um, but sometimes, it's just so hard to reach them, and I think that's because they're misunderstood. I want to dive into how faith and prayer play a role in overcoming life's trials. What was the role of in faith and prayer in overcoming life's obstacles, as highlighted in Bessie's life?
My mama had told me that, she went through some racism, not just between different races, but racism within our race, light skinned, dark skinned thing. And there were other
Mm.
things with poverty. There was things with the secrets, the things that family push into the closet and try to shut the door on, that you couldn't do it because everybody knew it, just weren't able to talk about it. But my mama told me about how it was that it was God himself that caused her to have ears to hear his voice. Because, she wasn't just really raised up in the church, but there came a point when she heard God letting her know that I'm your God. I'm not shut up in a church. I'm your God, and I will help you. You're going to have to listen to me, though. And he gave her ears to hear. So faith, whereas it may look like faith is locked in a location, God is
Mhm.
not locked up in certain denominations. He will reach you right where you are. So my mama experienced that personal relationship where God would tell her while she's laying in her bed to come and meet with me. And she said that he would tell her 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, will you listen to me? Will you come so I can talk to you? And she did. She said at 2 o'clock in the morning, she finds herself getting out of the bed and laying on the floor next to the bed with her face down. She said, face down in the rug. And I'm saying, God, hear me. I don't know what to do. I can't fix this. I'm losing my mind. And right there on the side of her bed, 2 and 3 o'clock in